Today we see the topic named as normalizing. So the aim of normalizing is to increase the toughness of the material. If we consider the steel material, then we increase the toughness of the steel material. If we see the objective of normalizing, the objective of the treatment is to counter the effects of prior processes such as casting, then uh, forging or rolling into the one which enhances toughness or in certain product forms meets the final mechanical property requirement by that is refining the existing non-uniform structure, then relieving the internal stresses, refining the grain size and improving the toughness. These are the different objectives. If we see the normalizing, then it consists of heating a suitable steel to a temperature of 50 to 100 degrees Celsius above AE3 level. Okay. Uh, above the AE3 temperature in case of hypoeutectoid steel and above ACM temperature in case of hypereutectoid steel. Then soaking takes place for sufficient time and then cooling in still air. This becomes the process in normalizing condition. Okay, so if we consider the steel material, then we increase the temperature, we heat the steel material, that is up to 50 to 100 degrees Celsius and above AE3 temperature. And in case of hypoeutectoid steel and above ACM temperature in case of hypereutectoid steel. Okay, so different types of steels are available, that is hypoeutectoid and hypereutectoid. So in case of hypoeutectoid steel, if we increase the temperature above AE3 temperature, then we achieve the 50 to 100 degrees Celsius above the AE3 temperature, and where the normalizing takes place. And in case of ACM, if we go beyond 50 to 100 degrees Celsius above the ACM temperature, in case of hypereutectoid steel, then after that soaking process takes place for sufficient time and then again cooling takes place. This is generally the process in normalizing. Okay, so if we consider if we consider the phase diagram, which indicates the heat treatment temperature ranges for plain carbon steel. If we consider the y-axis, here temperature in degrees Celsius is shown, and on the x-axis composition weight by percentage is shown. So in case of carbon material, in case of carbon material, the percentage weight by percentage is 0, then 0 0.2, 0 0.4, 0 0.6, 0 0.8, 1.0, 1.2, 1.4 and 1.6. That is 0.2 weight percentage difference is keep here. And on the temperature degrees Celsius, so 600, from 600 to 1000 degrees Celsius, this is the temperature. And here temperature in Fahrenheit is also shown, that is 1200 up to 1800. If we consider the A3 region, okay, if we go beyond the A3 region or above the A3 region, here normalizing takes place. And in case of ACM, also, if we go beyond or above that temperature, and then in this region normalizing takes place. Okay, after that, if we observe this pink region is normalizing stage, then this violet color is related to full annealing process, and this is spheroidizing process is shown in this graph. So this is Fe3C phase diagram. Then in case of normalizing, cooling in normalizing takes place. Here temperature in degrees Celsius and time in second are shown. That is temperature in degrees Celsius are shown on y-axis, and time on in second on y-axis. Okay, so in this case cooling in normalizing, that is cooling takes place. So here this is 10 raised to -1, then 1, then 10, 10 raised to 2, 10 raised to 3, 10 raised to 4 and 10 raised to 5. This is the time in second. And this is the temperature in degrees Celsius, that is 0 degrees Celsius, 100, 200, 300, 400 degrees Celsius, 500, 600, 700, and 800 degrees Celsius. This is temperature in degrees Celsius. Then if we consider the temperature in degree Fahrenheit, it is 200, 400, 600, 800, 1000, 1200, and 1400. This is temperature in degree Fahrenheit. If we consider this is the austenite and this is the perlite phase. Okay, so if we cool that, if we cool in normalizing condition, this is the fine perlite. Okay, if we observe here, if the time required for cooling is less, then we get fine perlite region, and if the time required is greater, then we get coarse perlite condition. This is eutectoid temperature region, that is above 700 degrees Celsius. Then this is austenite region, this is perlite region, and this is slow cooling core, that is full anneal process. This is moderately rapid cooling core, that is normalizing. In case of rapid cooling, the normalizing takes place. So in case of here, average transformation temperature during the cooling is lower in normalizing compared to annealing, which results in finer grain in normalizing compared to annealing. Therefore, normalized steels are harder and stronger than annealed steels. Okay, so normalized steels are harder. Heating is usually carried out in air, so subsequent machining or surface finishing is required to remove the scale or decarbonize the layer. Okay, so this heating process carried out in air, or machining or surface finish is required to remove the scale or decarbonize layers. The normalizing is a type of heat treatment applicable to ferrous metals only. In many cases, it is the last treatment given to steel before it is put to use. Okay, so in case of many plants, this is the last step. And this is applicable for ferrous type of materials only. For cold work steel, the normalizing process occurs in the following way. That is, cold working and casting are manufacturing process. Cold working and castings are the manufacturing process that produces grain structures that may require normalizing before the component is put into the service. Okay, so this process occurs when the casting process is there, or when the manufacturing is done within the cold working condition. Okay, that produces the grain structures that may require normalizing before the component is put into the service. Normalizing relieves the internal stresses caused by cold work. Okay, if we do the cold working, then a lot of stresses occurs inside the component. Also, in case of casting process, also some stresses occurs at the time of manufacturing, and to remove that stresses, we do this normalizing process. So normalizing, after normalizing that material, it relieves the internal stresses which is caused by cold working. The resultant fine grain structure after normalizing is stress free, and the mechanical properties generally shows a decrease in hardness, improve the ductility, and increase the overall toughness, that is impact strength, compared to cold work state. If we see the advantages of this system, then advantages becomes grain growth is limited by the relatively high cooling rate. Okay, so this is grain growth. When high cooling rate is there, then grain growth is limited. Okay, therefore the strength and hardness of normalized steel are better than in annealed steel. So in this case, the strength and hardness is better than annealed steel material. If we observe the diagram, in this case, if the time required to cool that material is low, then we get fine particles. Fine means the particle having the less amount of size, so it is called as fine. And coarse perlite, the size of particles is greater, then it is called as coarse perlite. The resultant fine grain structure after normalizing is stress free, and the mechanical properties generally show a decrease in hardness, improve the ductility, and increase overall toughness, that is impact strength, compared to cold work state. Okay, so hardness gets decreases and ductility improves, and also it increases the overall toughness, that is impact strength compared to the cold work state. Advantages, if we see, the grain growth is limited by the relatively high cooling rate. Therefore, the strength and hardness of a normalized steel are better than in an annealed steel. For example, a normalized 0.4% carbon steel will have a tensile strength of 580 megapascal, that is Newton per mm square, compared to an annealed steel of 510 megapascal, that is 510 Newton per mm square. Its ductility will be 27% compared to the 30%, and its hardness will be 165 BHN compared to 145 BHN. I repeat this again. This example, a normalized 0.5% carbon steel will have tensile strength of 580 MPa compared to an annealed steel of 510 MPa. Okay, so tensile strength of normalized material gets increases as compared to annealed steel. In case of annealed steel, the tensile strength becomes 510 megapascals. So its ductility will be 27% compared to 30%. And its hardness will be 165 BHN compared to 145 BHN. That is, the normalized steel will be stronger and harder, but slightly less ductile than the annealed steel. Okay, so this normalized steel becomes the stronger material, and this annealed steel becomes the less stronger. Okay, so quality of surface after machining of a normalized part is also better than in an annealed part, because fine particles are present, so surface is smooth in case as compared to annealed parts. If we see the limitations, there are some limitations. Since the cooling rate in a steel part may be different at different depths during normalizing, the resulting structure is dependent on the thickness of the steel part. If the thickness is more, then variation is more. If the thickness is less, then variation is less. So since the cooling rate in a steel part may be different at different depths during the normalizing, the resulting structure is dependent on the thickness of the steel part. As the thickness is less, then it shows overall normalizing condition, but the thickness is more, then it is not the overall similar results occur here. Different conditions are occur inside the material. So this is about the normalizing. Thank you.